This is really to do with the use of blockchain in identity. And we know that identity, a national I card in India of sorts, Aadhar, and Aadhar is a long string of numbers on a piece of paper. How can blockchain help us deliver Aadhar 2.0?
Sure. So I think when we talk about identity, generally we tend to mix it up only to KYC. However, identity has a much broader spectrum. So with identity, we are not only restricted to, who I am, where I am living, but there are many other aspects. It relates to your financial detail. It relates to your educational detail. It relates to the other things that you do in your social environment, right? All those things are form of something that you claim that you are or you own, right? So identity 2.0, or what we call as a decentralized identity, has many flavors that can be added on top of the identity that we have in India, for example, Aadhar. When we are talking about tomorrow's identity, it's going to be opening up very interesting customer engagement models as well. Today's identity either give you access or no access.
In a blockchain world, Ravi, would I be correct in asking you that I don't even need to remember those numbers or carry cards? Everything will be virtual and perhaps linked to a biometric profile. Am I making sense here?
No, I think not necessarily biometric is the decentralized identity. I think there is much more beyond to it. It is just one other attribute which helps you to identify yourself.
I'm just trying to understand it simply. If blockchain, and I believe it has the potential for huge transformation, a very simple question: why should I carry so many identity cards? I already have one phone which does so much work. You wanted to quickly come in and then
so basically currently the personal identification information systems, if they get stolen, that's a $4 to $5 billion market. Now the reason I quote that is you mentioned how can everything be linked, so how can everything become simplified. So for instance, right now, when you do Instagram messaging or Facebook messaging, you don't know what's going behind the background. With Web3 right now, because you have to know technology, that's why the adoption still isn't the way it should happen. But now, for instance, what a lot of chains are now doing, it's linking your social identity, it's linking your wallets to your decentralized identity. What that basically means, you don't have to remember hexadecimal addresses for your wallet. You don't have to remember anything, and all of that is linked to your mobile. So if you know your mobile, so it could be Siddharth dot the chain name, Siddharth/Web3 to Prateek/Web3. If I know just that, I can get to know, we can transfer within each other our identity, so you don't have to exchange, QR codes, everything goes. And then if you want to transfer money,
from what you are telling me, I interrupted you on transfer money because that's exactly the point. I think a very basic version of this is already happening with the UPI, where we are doing that. You complete that point.
Yeah, I think, very important aspect that Web3 brings is the ownership of your own data, right? So we have talked about Web1, let's say, where you go on a yahoo.com, look for the news. That's Web1, read only. Web2, where we are talking about interacting, social media, Facebook, Telegram, right? You read and write and understand. With Web3, you are talking about ownership of data. So my identity, I own. Today, whatever testimonial or let's say the rewards that I'm getting in a particular website, let's say I go to Facebook, I have data, but that data belongs to Facebook. With Web3 identity, that data would be owned by me.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.